Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Dennis and welcome back to another discussion. Today we'll actually discuss about Scrabble. So this is day 4 or the fourth part of the board game series. And previously we talked about the mine or the card game. Although it's technically a card game, but I would still call that board game. And then the previously as well we talked about D&D, and now that's board game. And then the first one we talk about Monopoly, that's also board game as well. So that's for those 3 days. Now on the fourth part, I would actually talk about Scrabble because Scrabble is one of the games that I actually played when since I was kid as well. Well, by kid I mean yeah, I think since I was kid as well. Although I don't really know how to um, do the score, right? But I pretty much played this even when I was in elementary school as well. My uncle has this Scrabble game, and whenever we had like a family, uh, what is it like? There is a big family invite, right? Invitation basically to my grandparents' house. My grandparents calling his or their children, right? And then obviously the children being my parents and the not my parents, but either my I think it's my mom, yeah, my mom and her siblings, right? And yeah, pretty much we all gather there, and then one of my uncle actually lives in the big city, right? And then therefore he kind of know about that like the thing that's currently trending in the town, right? And at that time it was Scrabble, so he brought this home, and that's also the first time I see Scrabble as well. And that's pretty much it. So Scrabble is basically a game about words, right? Um about what is it like arranging words so that it makes into valid words, and then you can use the scoring number, right? So that you can get yourself much number, right? And then the player with the most numbers will win for sure. Also, there is special tiles in the board in which that certain tiles will multiply the letter by, let's say 3 or by 2. And then there's also tiles that multiply the number by the value of the word, not the letters, by again by 2 or by 3, right? And that's pretty much it. So that's Scrabble. There's that. Yeah, I would say that 99% of you guys probably already know what Scrabble is, right? Like maybe there's only 1% who doesn't know what Scrabble is, probably, but that's pretty much it. That's Scrabble, right? I would say that there is a plus and minus about this game. The plus is that when you play this with your friends, right? And then you also increase your knowledge about words, right? The minus is that sometimes like sometimes others throw random words that you never heard, right? And then you need to make sure in the dictionary that it really is a word, right? A valid word, basically. And that's one of the downside. And then the other downside is the fact that there is actually I think there is a vocabulary, different vocabulary for like English, like from, like, let's say Oxford Dictionary, right? And then the Scrabble dictionary as well. Sometimes there are some random words in the Scrabble dictionary that doesn't really make any sense, that doesn't really make any word, that doesn't really translate to nothing, but it's considered as a word, right? So yeah, that's the pretty much the Scrabble dictionary, right? Which is pretty much the English dictionary plus random weird words, and that's pretty much Scrabble dictionary, I would say. And when you play this, like, you can play this online as well, like, digitally, right? So I played this with the computer against the AI of the computer, and the AI starts to throw random letters, right? Like, throw random words that I don't know what the means, right? Because they use the Scrabble dictionary for the input, therefore it's a little bit unfortunate, right? So yeah, and that kind of ruins the fun as well, because sometimes you see the letter X, and then pretty much XYZ and W, pretty much like VWXYZ being used in one word, right? Like I'm sure there is a word like that, right? That is not the real word, but somehow it is in the Scrabble dictionary, right? So the AI will use that, and sometimes those numbers will have high points, right? So that will pretty much be a little bit too unfair, right? Because because I'm not first English speaker, so I feel a little bit cheated, right? Because of this, because the AI or the computer use random word that doesn't really make any sense, right? That doesn't have any meaning, and that's pretty much it. Using slangs as well, right? Using slang of actual word that is valid in English dictionary, right? So yeah, that's the cons. The most that I hate, I would say, if people start not only AI but also people start throwing random words, right, that doesn't have any meaning, and that's pretty much the downside about that. But still a good game, I would say. um like sometimes you also hear new words from other players as well, and that's actually a valid words, right? So I would say that before the value got mentioned, I would say that they really need to like describe what the word means, right? So that everyone knows what it is, right? Let's say I put the word let's say a phone, right? So the word phone, everyone knows what phone is, right? So that's pretty much valid, right? Because everyone knows the word phone, and that's it. However, if I start throwing random word, like let's say what is it, like I don't know, give me a random word that sounds weird but actually has meaning. Let's say uh, I can come up with one right now, but I would say there is one, right? Like I don't know. Let's think if I can find something. Um, I cannot. Unfortunately, I cannot find at the moment, but there is that, right? Also, I didn't calculate how long this video is already. I didn't check the clock. That's kind of unfortunate. I will just throw another 10 minutes basically. So yeah, if someone randomly throws a random words but is valid, then that's a plus, right? Because you know a new word, right? And then that's also probably that should be an additional rule as well. If you want to make a word out of it, you need to describe what the word means, right? So that everyone can agree that the word exists, right? Because you can just throw a random word and then people can just what is it, like, yeah, pretty much kinda not believe that the word exists, right? So you need to describe what the word means, and that's pretty much it. So yeah, anyway, that's from what my perspective. Let's actually read the article over here. Scrabble is a word game in which 2 to 4 players score points by placing tiles, each bearing a single letter, onto a game board divided into a 15 by 15 grid of squares. The tiles must form words that, in crossword fashion, read left to right in rows or downward in columns and are included in a standard dictionary or lexicon. Okay, so yeah, like I said over here, right? So I would say that it should be in standard dictionary that that contains the word, right? But if it's like slang and then random words, random Scrabble words that doesn't really mean anything, but it's still valid in the Scrabble game, but not really found in the English dictionary, then I would say it it should be banned, right? It should be limited basically. So yeah, um, so this is what it looks like. There's like so many copies of every letters, right? So this probably requires more than 100. Well, obviously, right? Because the letters 26, and then 100 is just pretty much four times of that. So I think it's about maybe 5 copies of it, maybe 10 copies of it. I'm not sure. Maybe it's more copies for letters that has low points probably. Let's say the letter X, maybe it has 10 points, right? And then the letter A, it has 1. So it means that there should be 10 to 1 ratio of A to X, right? Because the value of the number should be the same, right? So for every 1X, there should be 10 A's, right? So I think that should be it, but let's see if it's mentioned. um Manufacturers Mattel and Hasbro. Oh, Hasbro again. So Hasbro is the one that makes Monopoly as well, right? Manufacturer anyway, like the publisher, right? Not really publisher, but more like, what is it, like the company, right? And the designers will be Alfred Mosher Butts, okay, and then publishers will be James Brunot. Publication 1938, so that's 84 years ago. Kind of the same as Monopoly as well. Monopoly was 1906, I believe, and then this one is 1938, so that's pretty much 30 years later. So that's basically a person and their uh, children years later, right? So that's pretty much like 1 to 2 generations, right? And then the Scrabble game got invented after the Monopoly. Genre will be word game and board game, as you can see over here. Players 2 to 4. Okay, setup will be 4 to 8 minutes. I think this is to set up the tiles, I would say, because like everyone will have starter letters, right? And then the starter letters is pretty much randomized as well, so there's that. Playing time will be 50 minutes. Okay, so I guess this is time based as well. Like after 50 minutes, the player with the most numbers or points will win the game, probably, right? So yeah, chance will be medium, letters drawn. Okay, so yeah, it's involves not really involved in RNG. It still does involve RNG, which will be the randomized letters that you will draw, right? So that's pretty much it. And then the skills will be vocabulary, spelling, anagramming, strategy, counting, bluffing, probability. Okay. But again, you can also, like it will be unfair if you use random words that is not included in the English dictionary, right? So there's that. This is the logo, I guess. The name Scrabble is a trademark of Mattel in most of the world, except in the United States and Canada, where it's a trademark of Hasbro. Oh, I see. Under the brands of both of its subsidiaries, Milton Bradley and Parker Brothers. The game is sold in 121 countries and is available in more than 30 languages. Approximately 150 million sets have been sold worldwide, and roughly one third of American and half of British homes have a Scrabble set. One third. Okay, so that's one in every three, which is that's actually a lot, right? So you pretty much knock on three house, and one of them will have Scrabble set in their home, which is again interesting, right? um there are approximately 4,000 Scrabble clubs around the world. Okay, game details. I pretty much already mentioned about this as well. There is the tiles, right? The special tiles, and then there is this one over here, the letter tiles, and then the numbers as well with the points. And yeah, this is the board basically. Two times letters, three times letters. There is also words as well, like this one, three times words over here. I think there is no double words. Oh, there is actually this one. The purple is double words. The blue is double letter. Another blue is triple letters, and then the red one, which you will have to aim for the most, which will be the triple word, right? So your points of the word will be tripled, and that's actually massive, I would say, and that's pretty much it. um Okay, yeah, S is one of the most versatile because you can pretty much put S in any word after that, right? So, and that will be a lot of points for you, right? So, as simple as putting, giving yourself an S in any random words that's already existing, it means that you can pretty much get that points again plus 1 point for the S, which is actually a great strategy, right? History, I guess this is just, yeah, the history, right? I'm not sure how they managed to, what is it, like, put how many letters in it, how many copies of tiles. I'm not sure. Maybe it will be maybe it will be, what is it, like, um oh god, maybe it will be possible for it to what is it called again, like like maybe there's an explanation as to why the amount of tile matters, right? Like let's say again, why is number why is letter A, I, E, and U and O is maybe more than the number of X and Z, right? The amount of tiles. Well, that's a little bit obvious, right? Because again, like the most of the words don't contain the letter X and Z, and then almost a lot portion of words have or use the letter A, right? Therefore, it's pretty much common word, right? But then again, how much of that, right, that you can put that into the game, right? Because um what will be the deciding factor of you to have the amount of copy in the first place, right? So yeah, rules. Okay. Letters A to O. Oh no, it's columns are labeled with the letters A to O and rows with the number 1 to 15. Okay, so that's 15 by 15. And then okay, there's that. Okay. Also, yeah, you can pretty much reshuffle your deck. Basically, you can reshuffle letters into some other letters, but I think you can only have this uh, chance with what is it, like some some chances, right? You can always do this all the time. Maybe you only have these three chances in total, probably, right? I'm not sure. Um, and then okay, this one. Uh, okay, this is just that sequence of play. I guess it's just one player after another players, right? That's pretty much it. And then after that, what else is matters? Yeah, I kind of want to know how much stuff there, right? Let's see if I can see that real quick. Yeah, basically like how many letters for each letters, right? How many copies of what is it like? How many letters for uh every letter, right? How many copies of that? And we have to see, right? Um, there is none. Okay, I don't see anything honestly. Yeah, those are acceptable words, I guess. Like English dictionary, I would say would be the most common thing. And then after that, what else? Yeah, I don't see any numbers over here. It's just there's that competitive play. Yeah, the club and tournament, right? Yeah, because this is pretty much a game that you can have as a tournament as well. But then again, like in the tournaments, they kind of allow words from the Scrabble vocabulary as well, Scrabble dictionary. So it's kind of unfair, I would say, like, this random word, right, that suddenly gives you a lot of points, but it doesn't actually have any sorts of meaning, right? So I would say that that's a little bit of unfair. So yeah, that's why I don't really like the competitive play of Scrabble because of that specifically. Um, well, obviously, you can always make a rule about that, right? Like every word always gets a resolved and checked in the dictionary, like English dictionary. If it's not there, then it's not valid, right? They need to either skip their turn or redo another word, right? But yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, I don't see anything else here, honestly. In software, it's probably yeah from the computer players, right? Like I said again, like if you play this in via computer, the AI will be like extremely smart because they have access to the catalog of the words, right? And then the words they use also, like I said, it will involve in the Scrabble dictionary. So you will often see a lot of X's and Z's and Y's and W's and V's get played, right? Even Q's, right? Like Q's as well get played into random word that you never heard of, right? But somehow it has points, right? Although it doesn't really have any meaning, or even if it does have meaning, it is a slang, right? It's not a real word, right? It's not origin word. So yeah, that's pretty much what I against of. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I think that'll be it for this one about Scrabble. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I think at this point everyone knows what Scrabble is already. Like I said, I love this game if people, came up with the words from the actual dictionary, right? The English dictionary. If they start using random words that doesn't make any sense, that doesn't make any translation, then I would consider that as invalid, and that just ruins the game, right? Because, well, like you can just randomly use the word Z and X and Q's in the same word, which again doesn't make any sense, doesn't make any meaning, right? So yeah, that's what I dislike. But anyway, I think that'll be it. That's all the time that I've got for this one. I think it's already been 20 minutes, but yeah. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. This has been day 4 of board game miniseries. We talk about Scrabble, but yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. This has been when you're 65. I hope you guys enjoyed. Stay safe, stay healthy. I will see you again tomorrow with another discussion. And until then, see ya.